Hey friends, it's Nikayla from the podcast Side Hustle Pro. I'm always looking for ways to keep my kids entertained without screens, and the Yoto Mini has been a total lifesaver. My kids are obsessed. Yoto is a screen-free audio player where kids just pop in a card and listen. Hours of stories, music, podcasts, and more, and no screens or ads. With hundreds of options for ages 0 to 12, it's the perfect gift they'll go back to again and again. Check it out at yotoplay.com. YOTOPLAY.com.
Mint is still $15 a month for premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contrast. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
The kettle's boiled, Vic.
Great. Perfect timing. Just a dash of milk for me, please, mate.
Here you go. Shall we get started then?
Have you ever woken up on a Sunday morning and said, I'm never drinking again, and then found yourself waving $50 at a barman by happy hour?
Are you wondering why everyone else can stop at 1 while you head to a dodgy after-party with a weird bloke called Disco Dave? If so, it might be time to take a deeper look at your relationship with your reliable social crutch, alcohol.
On each episode, we'll investigate our own dysfunctional dealings with booze and find out if it's possible to stop this deeply ingrained habit before things get too messy.
Yep, we're going to open up a shame shed of humiliating drinking stories to help you understand why waking up from a booze coma each weekend with a kebab sticking out of your top pocket might actually be negatively impacting your health.
Hamish and I are here to delve into what it's like being sober, an unwanted warts and all look into why giving up those cheeky pints or putting down those mummy wines will make you feel happier, help your anxiety and mental health, and turn you into the most sparkly, authentic version of you.
Won't that mean I become boring though, Vic?
Well, Hamish, we'll just have to wait and see. I'm Victoria Vanstone.
I'm Hamish Adams-Cairns.
And this is Sober Awkward. Before we hear about our own run-ins with ambulances, let's hear from my mate in Sydney, Sam. He's a paramedic. I emailed him a few questions about how binge drinking affects his work. The first question I asked him was, do the number of drunken injuries rise at the weekends?
I'll be Sam. I'm playing the role of Sam.
Yeah, you be Sam.
What does Sam look like?
He's handsome. He's about 40, about the same age as me.
Has
Yeah.
he got Australian accent?
He has got. Please don't do it in an Australian accent.
It would really demean the important shit
poor
that he's
Sam.
saying.
He'd be like, what's he doing that accent for?
Okay, I'm Sam. When you come into work near the CBD on a Friday or Saturday night, you know what you're in for. A very busy night picking up drunks. The early cases in the night are usually the younger ones, the 16 and 17-year-olds who are not used to drinking so much. Then come the rest from about 10:30 until about 3 a.m. when it's super busy. Still a decent workload from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. Then after sunrise, the occasional drunk who's fallen asleep on their walk home, snoozing on a footpath on a bridge.
Sam says these cases range from vomiting and inability to walk to barely conscious while embarrassing themselves in the process, i.e. covered in vomit, pooing their dacks, private body parts being exposed, falls resulting in injury, assaults, misadventure, falling downstairs, off balconies, off rock edges, ledges, etc. The injuries he's seen from drinking range from twisted ankles, fractured legs, dislocated shoulders, lacerations to face and head, full-blown head injury resulting in coma, from either assaults or minor falls, spinal fractures resulting in quadriplegia, or dying a terrible death in front of good friends. These are some of the cases I can think of off the top of my head. That's what he says.
God.
It's mental.
What is the trauma involved in being the nurse or the doctor or the first person on the scene?
Or even your friends. Like, that's what we're talking about as well. The impact on others. We've never considered it before.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to change your friends' lives. Not only will it change your life, but somebody seeing that happen to you is going to be extremely traumatic.
I've got a shocking story here. So Liz's cousin, who we met through, is an A&E nurse, and she worked in England for years. And I said, you obviously see awful things every day. Firstly, I've always asked her whether or not you get the same training as a doctor or as a nurse as you would in the army with regards to seeing terrible shit that no one should see.
Yeah.
And you don't really.
Right.
But I said, was there anything that really rattled you? And she said, one day working in A&E, a kid came in who she had known. And he was, I think he had a car crash or something.
Right, and she knew who it was.
You know the person.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yes, because we don't really consider the mental health of the people doing that job, do we? And that would actually cause them to drink.
Yeah.
So it's like this kind of domino effect, isn't it? That the people are going to be dealing with their stress and their anxiety from what they've seen at work and taking it home.
Yeah, that's a whole other episode. 'Cause we actually had an email from someone who said they were a doctor and they have got a drinking habit, and you just feel this immense guilt and like, I'm meant to be the doctor, and their stresses of doing a job like this has led to them drinking more. It's awful.
Gosh, yeah. There's more to it, isn't there, really? I asked Sam what it's like dealing with drunk people as a paramedic.
He said, it can be fun, it can be annoying. He used to find it fun because I like being in the city where there's a good vibe, but after a few years, it can get annoying. Holding a vomit bag up to someone who's covered in vomit and can't sit up without your assistance while they tell you you're a dickhead in between vomits gets a little old eventually.
Yeah, fair enough. And like he said above, intoxicated people can become barely conscious or unconscious, and this poses a risk to an airway obstruction. Therefore, this is mental, by the way. Everybody tune in. Therefore, an ambulance is sent at very high priority, a higher priority than heart attacks. So somebody with vomit who is being sick and is drunk through their own bad choices that I made too, I'm not being judgmental, takes precedence over somebody who is having a heart attack. So the ambulance will come to the drunk person before the person having a heart attack.
How is that the rule? How has that happened?
Because a blocked airway is just higher risk. It's more red alert, I guess.
That's crazy.
It is.
He says sometimes it depends on the type of drunk they are, i.e. happy drunk or angry drunk or insolent drunk. Angry drunks, surprisingly, he says are usually too drunk to do any damage, so they're manageable. They might throw a punch, but then they usually fall over. Happy drunks can be fun, depending on the time of night, depending on how sick I am of picking up drunks that night. And it's not just the patients he says he has to deal with, it's the drunk friends and bystanders. This I can certainly relate to.
Yeah.
He says they can be obnoxious, they can be annoying, or they might be apologetic and grateful. I'm imagining annoying more often than apologetic.
Hey friends, it's Nikayla from the podcast Side Hustle Pro. I'm always looking for ways to keep my kids entertained without screens, and the Yoto Mini has been a total lifesaver. My kids are obsessed. Yoto is a screen-free audio player where kids just pop in a card and listen. Hours of stories, music, podcasts, and more, and no screens or ads. With hundreds of options for ages 0 to 12, it's the perfect gift they'll go back to again and again. Check it out at yotoplay.com. YOTOPLAY.com.
Bombas makes the most comfortable socks, underwear, and T-shirts.
Warning, Bombas are so absurdly comfortable you may throw out all your other clothes.
Sorry, do we legally have to say that?
No, this is just how I talk, and I really love my Bombas.
They do feel that good. And they do good, too. One item purchased equals one item donated.
To feel good and do good, go to bombas.com and use code AUDIO for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com and use code AUDIO at checkout.
I've watched a lot of 24 Hours in Emergency. It's one of my favourite shows. It's brilliantly produced, that programme. If you haven't seen it, I think it's on Binge on A&E. And it is fantastic because you get a real insight in any of those paramedic shows, and hospital shows are amazing because you see that drunk people are so prevalent in hospitals at weekends. Yeah. That's all they're dealing with. And you often see the mates of the drunks, they're giving people a hard time, like when they're having to queue and wait, and they might be second in line because their problem isn't as bad as others and getting aggressive and things. Yeah. It's really frightening. Yeah, we don't think about these things. I've never thought about it.
Nor I.
I asked Sam, is treating the wounds of binge drinkers just part of the job, or do you feel a bit annoyed with these drunken patients because the injury was avoidable?
Whether we love it or hate it, it's just part of the job. It won't change. And whether I get annoyed is generally on a case-by-case basis, usually depending on how respectful the patient is and whether they are wasting your time.
Yeah, Sam also said if someone is injured enough to require an ambulance, he is happy to help. However, he doesn't enjoy it when those in receipt of his help don't provide him or his colleagues any courtesy or respect or become rude or violent. Being blind drunk is not an excuse, he says, and unfortunately alcohol can turn people into idiots. Then I asked Sam, how do you think the problem of binge drinking needs to be addressed?
He said it's a difficult one, as it's ingrained into our culture. He thinks people's intention should be having a drink to have a good time, not to get drunk. It would be informative. This is a great idea. He said it'd be amazing, and I guess they do on shows like you talk about, if he could film drunken people that he attends to, like the drunkest of the drunk, so that he could show it to young adults or even to the patient the next day. He said in most cases they probably forget their behaviour, but if they actually watched it, most would be completely ashamed and embarrassed, especially those who have their dingle dangles hanging out in front of their friends, family, or just strangers passing around. He said, or those who are so drunk that they're covered in vomit and decide to tell all their friends about their herpes.
Oh God, he must have experienced that.
Is that a level of drunk? Like, I was vomit drunk, I was angry drunk, I was telling my friends about my STDs drunk. Like that's the drunkest you can get.
That's the drunkest you can be, yeah. It's also full on, isn't it, to hear about. Gosh, we're so thankful to Sam giving us all that inside information. It was excruciating and fascinating. Let's find out about our own visits to the ER, what we did and how we were dealt with. I must say I cringed when I thought about writing this episode, as I do have a sense of guilt and shame about not only putting myself at risk, but wasting the time of people like Sam. They could have been helping someone that really deserved it. Anyway, here we go, Haim. What are yours?
Okay, so my worst one was there's a nightclub in King's Cross called Egg. And I must have passed out in the cubicle, like the loo cubicle of Egg. And I can remember I had maybe 16 missed calls. All my mates were like, where has he gone? Anyway, the paramedics got called and had to bang open the door. Oh, no. And I had to sit there. I didn't have my stomach pumped. It wasn't as bad as that. But I remember like coming to sitting with a paramedic who was just like, you need to get yourself home. Didn't get an ambulance ride.
Oh, that's good. But
they're like, you need to go now. It's time for you to go.
Well, it's crazy that the paramedics they came to in that situation, probably for that reason that we discussed, they perhaps thought you had vomit stuck in your throat.
Yeah.
So, you could have taken an ambulance away from someone that day, Hamish.
Awful, isn't it?
It's awful.
The worst thing is that I find the idea of getting an ambulance quite fun, but if you're in the situation when you're in an ambulance, it's never fun.
It's not fun.
I like the idea of like swerving through traffic with the whoop lights on. I want to end this episode with something that Sam said. So I always want to say Simon says.
Simon says, Sam says.
Yeah. So this is Sam, not Simon. He said, if the young adults could see how easily a good night out can turn into a life-changing and wrecking experience for themselves or their friends or their family, then perhaps some would think twice about drinking so much. One of the saddest cases I've attended was a young tourist travelling with his mates, made a poor decision to traverse a balcony at the backpackers bar they were drinking at, and at 3 a.m. fell 5 stories to his death in front of his 3 best mates who were travelling with him. If kids could see and hear this, I'm sure they would take steps to avoid it happening to themselves. I know that's a scary way to end
It's a harsh lesson, that. It is a harsh lesson, but I think it's important to highlight how dangerous drinking can be if you overindulge, binge on a night out, because it can lead to all sorts of horrific things. If you're questioning your relationship with booze, you're struggling to moderate, or your hangovers are causing anxiety, it might be time to reach out for some support.
Yeah, just talk to a mate about how you're feeling, contact a local doctor, find an AA or sobriety group. Vic's got one.
Yeah, just head to www.cuppa.community.
Remember, if you're questioning yourself, it might be time to seek support.
Even though this journey can be awkward, it is definitely worth it. And if you've enjoyed the Sober Awkward podcast, don't forget to review it, rate it, and share it with your mates.
Do they have to share it with their mates?
Yeah, of course they do. I'm not doing this for nothing, Hamish. Bloody hell.
How do they share it?
I don't know, just write it on the document.
This is Hannah Burner from Giggly Squad. O-Pill is the first over-the-counter daily birth control pill available in the U.S. Let's be real, getting a birth control prescription is not always easy, and it's so much admin. In fact, about a third of women face barriers to access prescription birth control. Between scheduling appointments, missing work, class, or just trying to exist, it's a lot. But now O-Pill is putting birth control in our control. Opill is a daily birth control that's FDA approved, full prescription strength and estrogen free, and 98% effective when used as directed. Grab it online or at most major retailers, no prescription or doctor's appointment needed. So if you're thinking about birth control, check out Opill to see if it's right for you. Use code GIGLY for 25% off your first month of Opill at OPILL.com. That's code GIGLY at OPILL.com. Birth control in your control. We love to see it.
Hey friends, it's Nikayla from the podcast Side Hustle Pro. I'm always looking for ways to keep my kids entertained without screens, and the Yoto Mini has been a total lifesaver. My kids are obsessed. Yoto is a screen-free audio player where kids just pop in a card and listen. Hours of stories, music, podcasts, and more, and no screens or ads. With hundreds of options for ages 0 to 12, it's the perfect gift they'll go back to again and again. Check it out at yotoplay.com. YOTOPLAY.com.
Hey, it's Mark Marin from WTF here to let you know that this podcast is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. And I'm sure the reason you're listening to this podcast right now is because you chose it. Well, choose Progressive's Name Your Price tool, and you could find insurance options that fit your budget, so you can pick the best one for your situation. Who doesn't like choice? Try it at Progressive.com. And now, some legal info. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
So, as you probably know, my comedy memoir, 1,000 Wasted Sundays, is officially out. All my magnificent fuck-uppery in one awkward hit. If you'd like to get your hands on a copy, it's now available from all good bookstores.
We always say all good bookstores, don't we?
Yeah.
Are there bad bookstores?
No, it's probably ones with moody sellers.
Oh yeah, really depressed librarian folk.
Yes,
okay,
good. So there are probably some, but we're only storing it in the good ones.
It's only made it into the goodies.
You can also get it from all good online retailers. The print version and ebook are out now, and the audiobook will be available in March. I've been writing my memoir for 5 years. It will make you laugh, cry and cringe, and hopefully inspire a few people to reconsider their relationship with booze. If you love the podcast, then I think you'll love the book, even if I do say so myself. Hamish has read it. What did you think?
I feel like I know a little bit too much about you now, to be honest, Vic. Look, I really loved it. It was hilarious and surprisingly moving, but I feel like I've seen you naked in a literary sense.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's worrying.
Yeah. From an emotional point of view, seriously, it wobbled my teeny weeny wooden heart, Vic.
Okay.
My teeny little wooden heart.
Well, his wooden heart is broken. Anyway, so if you do manage to get your filthy mitts on a copy, please do me a favour and head to goodreads.com and give me a review. Doing that will help me get it out there to those that need a bit of sober support. So there you have it. My story, unwanted warts and all. Come and get awkward with me.
Not to be too demanding or anything, but seriously, go and buy it now.
Go and buy it. Go and buy it right now.
Yeah, don't just tell your friends, buy it, and then buy your friends one or two.
Yeah, don't give them a copy, buy it. Yeah.
And you know what? Don't be careful where you store it. If you lose it, you can always buy another 5.
Buy another one.
Yeah.